Hi there, Dr. Gary here on the road. We sell dental practices nationwide. We are dental practice brokers. Now, I was a dentist for 25 years and doing the dental practice brokerage now for 14 years. So today's topic is when a buyer of a dental practice walks away from a good deal, who loses the most? We'll talk about that. So as you know, we're in 22 states, just opened up Louisiana, Alabama, and Ohio too. We have our 10 employees, including 2 CPA accountants, marketing director, operations director. We got a great team. Now, we're available to you 363 days a year. We only take off Christmas and Easter. And you can reach us from 8 a.m. till 9 p.m. East Coast time. Just call us. Even if you just want to chat, you want a free evaluation, give us a ring. Be happy to talk to you at 201-663-0935. And our web address is nationwidedentalpracticebrokers.com. Whoops, sorry. nationwidedentalpracticebrokers.com. And also dentalpracticeguide.com. So give us a call and we can chat. Now, if everything you're hearing is entertainment purposes, it's not legal advice. If you're also thinking about selling to the DSOs, please call us, because we work with them. We know who the best ones are, who's having financial trouble, who's using their own money and not credit lines to buy deals. And we know quite a bit about them. We hear industry things well before they hit the streets. So please give us a call. Now, when we work with the DSOs, we don't work for them. We're independent. But they will often pay our commission. So there's no commission to you. And when you work with us, as you know, we'll get your legal fees reimbursed based on minor criteria at successful closing. Any practice, $1 million or more, it's going to be reimbursed legal fees. So at successful closing upon certain criteria. So what is going on with the buyer that has a fair deal, a very good deal, very fair to the buyer, approved by the banks, and it's a solid practice they're buying. It's not like the practice is in really bad shape, financially falling apart, physically, terrible location, terrible staff, not on solid footing. You assume we're talking about a practice that a buyer of a dental office is walking away from because they think they're paying too much money or some other issue. Somebody gets in their ear. It could be anybody that gets in their ear, but the fact is somebody got into their ear and is influencing them. So they decide to walk away. And assume this practice can be sold to somebody else because we have a backup of buyers that are interested. Who is losing the most when the buyer walks out? Well, I'll tell you, most of the time, if there's backup buyers ready to go, and it's a solid practice, the financials work well, the bank has approved it, and it's really running well practice, it's the buyer that's going to lose. No question, because the seller goes back, still makes money. The buyer goes back, and the buyer may be working for a TSO, thinking they're making big money, $200,000, $250,000, whatever, more. But they're a W-2 employee. They lose out on 25% of the tax write-offs. So whatever you're making, you're losing 25% of that money. If you had your own business and you were able to use legitimate legal tax write-offs. So that's where you lose right away. Secondly, opportunity costs and disability, of course. The buyer, had they purchased a practice and got hurt a month later, if they continue to work with the DSO says, you're sick? I'm sorry to hear that. You can't come in. You can't work on patients. But if you own your own practice, you can call your friends in. They can run the practice for you. And that's a big deal. Because you have income coming in. Hygiene patients are still seen. Everything's working. So this is something you have to really be aware of. So the buyer loses out because the buyer loses that 25% write-off they can have. The buyer loses out. There's no investment in their future. The investment is gone. They're getting a paycheck from a company, and that's it. Maybe the company will throw them a little minor stock or something. I don't know. But they're getting a paycheck from the company, and they go back to that. But there is no investment. There's no growth. There's no future with that because they can find somebody else to work in your space. So you've got to be, that's something you really got to be aware of in this marketplace. If you were to walk away from a practice, because you walk away and you're leaving a lot behind. You're leaving your future behind. You're leaving confidence and disability protection because your staff and other doctors could jump in and work for you. You can't do that at the DSO. You can't hire somebody to work for you and make a percentage on their percentage. It doesn't work. So this is something that you should be aware of. You will lose the most as a buyer. No future growth, no equity, no flexibility and time off. It's just not there. You lose all of that. Maybe you don't have the burden of running an office of responsibility. Yeah, I'll agree with that. But there's more at stake here, then you've got to be aware of that. So the buyer that walks away from a dental practice, assuming I can get another buyer for that without any problem, that buyer has the most to lose. Absolutely. Assuming there's a fair deal for the buyer, a fair deal for the seller, good attorneys and all that, that buyer always has the most to lose. So you should be aware of that. Because now how long is it going to take that buyer to go find another practice that's in the proximity that they want, that's a practice that meets the criteria and everything else? Don't forget, this is assuming the practice, you've done a lot of research on the practice. So it is very challenging for you to find another practice that's within the same proximity, same distance. Don't forget, a lot of practices you get a job and you're commuting 45 minutes each way. That's a day a week commuting. You lose a whole day. If you find a practice close to your home, it's completely different. All right? Something you got to think about. Most doctors don't think about that. The disability factor, that's big. That's big. Your friends can come in and work and your office can be kept open. A lot of issues there that could really take it to the next level. So a lot to think about. Please ponder that next time you're ready to walk away from a dental practice because somebody told you you're paying too much or some stupid reason. I don't know. All right, if you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button. We're working it. There's the 4th of July weekend coming up the following week, not this weekend, the following. So it's going to be great. I can't wait to be on the beach hanging out. I'm on the beach a lot now, but I'm doing my paperwork, doing emails, doing these YouTube videos. I do a few of those. So bear with us and hit the subscribe button. We hope to see you on the next video. Looking good, team. Looking good. I think this is like video 505 or something like that. We're knocking it out.